Sometimes, when I make a great effort, I can remember her scent, the sweetness of her breath. Serena.
Bevor ich weitermache, das Spiel ist auf Englisch. Okay, als allererstes erstmal Hallo. Das ist ein Spiel, was ich auf Steam gefunden habe. Ein kostenloses Spiel. Es gab da nicht viele Informationen, außer dass es wir einen Mann spielen und er sich einfach nicht mehr an seine Frau erinnern kann und immer irgendwie auf sie wartet.
The photo is right there. Maybe I could have another look.
Ja, sofort. Und wir uns irgendwie nach und nach, soweit ich das verstanden habe, an sie erinnern. Und dann weiß ich nicht, was passiert. So, jetzt klicken wir mal aufs Bild. Also, ich finde die Grafik total schön. Schau, das Haus scheint sehr, sehr kaputt zu sein. Huch, wie süß.
Just one more try. I know it's pointless, but I need to do it.
Das sind anscheinend wir und wie man hier sieht, kann er sich eben nicht an das Gesicht
Serena?
erinnern.
Why can't I see you more clearly? Why can't I even remember?
Also er fragt sich, warum er Serena, seine Frau, nicht sehen kann und warum er sich nicht an sie erinnern kann.
This was taken on that crisp winter night at our mutual friend's hunting lodge. We came back indoors, laughing, giddy as teenagers. It was truly like an enchanted time, like we were in a magic circle where no sorrow or pain could touch us.
Er erzählt gerade von deren glücklicher Zeit von früher.
My love, we don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important.
Er erzählt, dass sie nicht viele Fotos zusammen haben als Liebespaar und deshalb ist ihm dieses Foto sehr wichtig.
The guy who snapped this, our host that night, used an actual film camera. It was a different world back then. My love, we don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important.
Okay, kann ich irgendwie noch was machen?
The furniture came with the cabin. Considering how off the beaten path this place is, that helped make up our mind.
Kann ich hier irgendwie die Bilder
Sometimes she would brush her leg against mine under the table when we were eating. A curious, sensual thrill. Serena enjoyed spice in our life. I preferred it more bland. We were so different on some points. The table is worn but sturdy, just like our relationship was. Or is. I just don't know anymore. The guy who snapped this, our host that night, used an actual film. This one wobbles. I always meant to do something about that, but somehow never got around to it.
Ah, so kann ich ausstehen, okay? Ich will zu dem Bild. Oh. Also 2 Kinder, die schlafen und man sieht das Gesicht, aber von dem Kind in der Mitte sieht man das nicht und das scheint das kleinste zu sein. Okay, ich möchte wieder... Kann ich wieder raus? Hallo? Ah, okay.
No, I don't want to leave right now. There's still something for me in here. So many afternoons spent in this armchair.
Also, ich versuche das so manchmal so zu übersetzen. Also er meint, in diesen jeden Abend, also ganz viele Abende haben die in diesem Sessel verbracht.
Come sit with me. I want to talk. And cuddle.
What did we talk about? Damn this fallible memory of mine. The most comfortable spot in the cabin, well, along with the bed, of course. I can imagine her cuddling up to me even now, putting her hand under my shirt. Of course, we made love here, too. There was no place in the cabin we didn't before things deteriorated. The most comfortable spot in the cabin, well, along with the bed, of course. So much wisdom and happiness in this bookcase. My life would have been much poorer without all this. The smell of old books is intoxicating. What happens to wood pulp as it ages gives it that distinctive vanilla smell. I loved it when we took down one of my favorites and curled up on the bed to read together as the wind howled outside on cold winter nights. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarities and special editions here. I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No, of course not. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. I can imagine her cuddling up to me even now, putting her hand under my shirt.
Okay.
Sharing meals with a good red wine was one of the great pleasures in our relationship, especially in the intimacy of this cabin.
Also erzählt jetzt von den Gegenständen, die ich anklicke, was sie für eine Hintergrundgeschichte mit der Frau hatten. Also auf dem kleinen Sessel hier haben die viele Abende verbracht. Das war so das kleine Liebesnest, wie auch das Bett da hinten, was wir uns dann auch nochmal angucken werden. Und hier die Bücher bedeuten ihm auch sehr viel. Da sind nämlich auch ganz viele von seiner Frau dabei. Ja.
I should probably eat. Can't remember the last time I ate. Yet I don't feel hungry.
Er hat anscheinend lange nichts mehr gegessen und erinnert sich auch nicht mehr daran, wann er zuletzt gegessen hat.
We had such a wonderful time dining in this cabin. Serena loved to experiment with her cooking.
Serena hat sehr gerne Experimente mit ihrem Essen gemacht, also Neues ausprobiert.
I have more pressing things on my mind right now than culinary exploits. Truth be told, not all the cooking she did was a resounding success. We agreed to never attempt doing ravioli again.
You silly dolt. Here, give me that. Don't be such a child.
I think it dates from the colonial era, probably brought over by the Pilgrims. It belongs in a museum. An archaeologist could excavate the layers of food forever welded onto this and learn about the days when other beings ruled the earth. I think it dates from the colonial era, probably brought over by the Pilgrims. The stove looks like something from World War I. Considering how basic and ancient the kitchen is, it's a wonder what we managed to do with it from time to time. Well, she mostly.
World War I. Das erinnert mich an irgendwas, aber ich weiß gerade nicht was.
It belongs in a museum.
Feeling peckish, dear?
The stove looks like something from World War I.
Okay, geht's schon weiter. Ich würde gerne mal... Die Bilder sehen jetzt aber nicht so nett aus, finde ich zumindest. Ich würde gerne mal da hinten hingehen. Ich will da hin. Würde ich gern... Also das darf ich natürlich jetzt nicht. Auch schon. True friends stand by each other through any adversity. Ich möchte gerne das hier mal angucken. Was ist das? Come love with peace in your heart, says nimmer außer Eis, Blue Eyes. Ist das so richtig? Ride with me, she's your Monte Guys.
I
Ich hab...
still can't understand. Even the features of her face feel hazy and distant, like remnants of a broken dream.
Ich war noch nicht fertig. Come, Oisen to my gardens fair. In the land of youth, ply your and your earth.
Somewhere in here, in our private refuge, there must be something that reminds me of her.
Eyes of days, or sun skies and rainbow
Come,
rays.
love, with peace in your heart,
Ja, toll.
said Niamh of the ice-blue eyes. Blue eyes.
Vermutlich hat die Frau blaue
It's
Augen.
based on an Irish folktale. Warrior poet O'Sheen goes to Tirnanog, a Celtic otherworld known as the Land of Youth and Promise. Niamh is of the Fey folk, the fair ones, fairies. Weird mix of doggerel and artistry. The elemental imagery is evocative, but the language and structure are a bit quaint. Still, some lines jump out at you. I've always been drawn to things that are kind of both good and bad at the same time. Maybe because that's so like life. My grandma introduced me to these old legends when I was just a kid, in between stories of what she could still remember of her childhood in the old country. Weird mix of doggerel and artistry. The elemental imagery is evocative, but the language and structure are a bit quaint. Still, some lines jump out at you. I've always been drawn to things that are kind of both good and bad at the same time. Maybe because that's so like life.
Ich glaube, das hatten wir schon gehört. Ich würde mal sagen, wir gehen mal zum Bett und jetzt kann ich irgendwie hier hin, genau.
It's a beautiful day, though there's an unnatural calm surrounding the area.
Ich sehe da zwar nichts durch, aber okay. Können wir den Spiel... Oh Mann.
Hers. I used it too, when shaving. There's a strand of blonde hair in the comb.
Blaue Augen und blond.
Yes, blonde hair like sun rays. I'm remembering.
Super.
What's wrong with my memory? Did I have a stroke?
Das war ja gruselig als romantisch.
She also had a brush, but I can't see it anywhere. Nor some of her other personal items. It's just a regular comb bought from a supermarket, new enough to still have all its teeth. There's only an outhouse, and for some reason, whoever erected the rickety thing didn't think to include wall-to-wall mirrors, so this came in handy. Should I dust for fingerprints? I might if I were in a detective story. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and her perfume. The last thing I need now is to see myself in the mirror. I must look awful.
Ach komm schon.
There's dust on this, too. It's everywhere. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and her perfume.
Das ist doch doof, dass wir ihn nicht sehen dürfen. Können wir irgendwie... Yes!
These
Schlüssel.
keys are for the cabin and the car.
Hier sind doch Zeitungsausschnitte. Das ist doch...
If the keys are here, does she have her spare? I should probably stay here in case she doesn't. Did she even have her own spare?
I don't know.
We also have a key for the outhouse, but can't be bothered to keep it anywhere other than under that rock next to the thing. No one comes here anyway. We did have a night prowler once who left a mark inside the outhouse, but we rarely lock it anyway. I never noticed it before, but there's some rust on the ring. Should get a new one. We also have a key for the outhouse, but can't be bothered to keep it anywhere other than under that rock next to the thing. No one comes here anyway. They prevent my blood pressure from skyrocketing. Doctor's orders. And Serena's. I'm generally not fond of taking medication. I find it hard to believe ingesting a few chemicals will do me much good in the long run.
Das soll Medizin sein?
Don't forget your pill, hun. I know you'd rather not, but you know it's for the best.
Beta blockers. I have high blood pressure.
Wenigstens erinnert sich noch an ihre Stimme.
I'm only supposed to take these before meals. Not a big fan of them. They do tend to alleviate my headaches, though. Beta blockers. I have high blood pressure. I'm only supposed to take these before meals.
Okay, dann war hier noch.
Evidence. Serena's favorite perfume.
Riech dran.
I've always told Serena that she doesn't need to wear perfume. Her presence is magical enough already. It smells so elegant. There's violet leaf and silk tree blossom, I think. This perfume is perfect for Serena. Why didn't I ever notice? We were happy for a long time. At least, I think we were. But as time passed, we fought about every little thing, even this. I keep looking at her things, remembering all the good. And bad. Depends on how you look at it. Either a wonderful sensory stimulant, an aphrodisiac, or a subtle weapon in the mating rituals of Homo sapiens. We were happy for a long time, at least I think we were. But as time passed, we fought about every little thing, even this.
Ich finde, das ist irgendwie eine total schöne Atmosphäre. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Aber einfach mal, es ist so, wir sind in einem alten Haus, wir sind ein Mann, der sich erinnern muss an den Sachen, die er hier im Haus hat. Was denn passiert ist, wo seine Frau ist, ob sie noch seine Frau ist und warum sie weg ist oder wo sie ist. Ich glaube, das habe ich schon gesagt. Das Einzige, was wir im Hintergrund haben, ist die Uhr. Und ich finde, die muss ich mir jetzt mal angucken.
The clock is a trophy from our flea market adventures. Chalk this particular purchase up to every cabin needs one. The ticking begins to feel homey after a while. The first night was a nightmare, though. Time never mattered much to us while we were hiding from the rest of the world here, as long as we were together and happy.
Bei so einer Uhr müsste ich mich aber auch erst dran gewöhnen, einzuschlafen. Aber so eine Uhr hatte ich früher auch mal.
The clock has always been rather autonomous. No matter how many times we've wound it up, it keeps going out of sync. Actually, I think it might have gone out of sync again. No trusting this clock. I wonder what time it is. As if it mattered. The clock has always been rather autonomous. No matter how many times we've wound it up, it keeps going out of sync.
Ich würde ja gerne mal rausgucken. Okay. Ich würde gern wieder dahin gehen. Jetzt würde ich gern dahin gehen. Jetzt ist kurz das Spiel abgeschmiert. Sehr christlich
She is
anscheinend.
fairly religious. Not me. I'm the cold and cynical bastard. But I don't remember that ever being an issue between us. She always thought our relationship was a blessing. God, how I miss her. No longer the cynical asshole, I guess. Her faith came as a surprise to me. She was never prudish about sex, so I just didn't expect it. I guess people simply aren't that predictable. No, I don't want to read right now. Especially not a Bible. I have no need for the words in there. I don't feel like being admonished by a deity right now. No, I don't want to read right now. Especially not a Bible.
Ich würde jetzt mal sagen, das geht ja jetzt schon 20 Minuten meine Folge, dass ich einen ganz kurzen Cut mache und dann einfach gleich weiter aufnehme und ich vermute mal einfach mal beide Folgen kommen dann im Abstand von einem Tag, wenn es passt, oder eben einen Tag später. Wahrscheinlich werde ich das rendern, dann nachher hochladen, also kommt drauf an, wie es hochkommt. Ja, wie ich es schaffe, so. Ja, dann sehen wir uns in der nächsten Folge und ich sag tschüss.